G'day guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Danny Bird and I'm a PGA professional based here in Southeast Queensland, Australia at the Carlbrook Golf Club. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to play that flighted wedge shot. The flighted wedge shot is one of those shots that I ask all my players to understand, and I try my best to teach all my in-person students that as early as we can in our golfing journey together. It's a great shot to have in your toolkit when it gets windy, when you're in between clubs, when the flag's at the back of the green. There's many occasions when it makes so much sense to be able to hit that lower flighted, reduced spin shot into the green. You'd often see it on TV. The tour pros that hit that one bounce and stop is more often than not that low flighted wedge shot. Guys, it's an easy shot to play. It's one we all need to have in our bag. And I'm going to talk you through today the keys to hitting that shot well, time and time again. Okay, so look, the number one mistake I see here at the coaching block, very simple. Guys picking the wrong club for the shot they're playing. Now, I'll give you guys a bit of context on that. We have a 100-yard shot. We normally hit our 52-degree wedge 100 yards. The mistake I see is guys taking their 52-degree and trying to lower their flight for that same 100-yard shot, and then being confused when it either comes up 20 yards short or the flight doesn't actually change. Now, in order to hit that low flighted shot, we want to do so by going up a wedge. So if I've got 100 yards and my 52 degree goes 100 yards, if I want to hit a flighted shot to still go 100 yards, I'm going to go up to my pitching wedge. So number one, picking the correct club. We club up when we're trying to hit that low flighted shot. Mistake number two, ball position. Far too often I see players, when they're addressing the golf ball, with their low flighted shot, positioning it almost back on their right toe. Now, yes, we're trying to lower the flight, but we don't need to put the golf ball so far back. The error I often see as a result of this for players is the ball goes too far back and two things occur. They either fall back behind to try to get the club behind or get the body weight behind the golf ball, and this is to add loft, and the reason being is if they don't do that, that pitching wedge essentially becomes a 5-iron and they know that they're going to blade it. The subconscious is telling us to try to neutralize that loft a little bit. We fall back behind it, we either hit the ground or we just send it launching up into the air. And for the player that doesn't, they just keep going forward. They end up hitting about midway up the golf ball with an open face and hit a scungy bladed shot that goes out to the right and ends up missing the green considerably. So we need to avoid putting the golf ball way too far back in the stance. The third mistake I often see is players trying to hit the golf ball far too hard. We don't have to hit this shot hard. Again, the harder I hit the golf ball, the more spin I'm going to put on the golf ball, the higher the flight's going to go. We're trying to reduce the flight, therefore reducing the spin, and in order to do that, we reduce the club head speed. If I take my pitching wedge and instead of swinging it full out, I swing it at 3/4 speed, I'm likely to drop the spin revolution by up to 2,000 revolutions, which is going to see the ball flight lower considerably. So those are the three biggest mistakes that I see. Now, how are we going to play the shot correctly? Okay, so the correct way to play this shot, first things first, selecting the appropriate club. So we've got 100 yards back into wind. Let's say it's playing in the region of what feels like, 110. I've taken a club that I know can comfortably fly 130 yards. So I've taken my pitching wedge, and to play this flighted shot, I'm going to use a club more than I should use for the distance that we're trying to hit. So I need you to really think about that when you're playing this shot. Always club up a club. Secondly, the ball position. I'm going to set the golf ball up into the middle of my stance. I'm going to narrow my stance width in ever so slightly. So if I would have shoulder width apart at full setup, I'm going to bring my feet ever so slightly in so the outsides of my feet are now in line with the outsides of my shoulders, which narrows my stance a little bit. This is important because the wider my stance, the bigger my swing, the more power I can generate, the more speed I can generate. By narrowing in my stance, I reduce my ability to swing the club as fast. So this is my reminder through my setup not to try to hit the golf ball so hard. So as you can see, I have the golf ball set up here into the middle of my stance. I'm now going to apply a very small amount of pressure into my lead side. This is going to encourage me to feel like I'm going to stay over the golf ball more, again, helping assist keep that flight down. You notice that I don't put the golf ball back in a stance. I don't need to put it too far back because I've clubbed up and I'm going to make a much smoother swing with it. I'm going to be reducing the ball flight through setup and swing speed. You're also going to notice that I'm going to set up square. Because I'm flighting the ball down, I don't need to open the stance, ball back and all these other things. I don't need to pull the right foot back and try to hook the... None of those things we need to do. We're going to set ourselves up nice and square. I'm going to go ever so slightly down the grip, okay? So I'm not going to hold the club at its full length on this particular shot. Got just inside of shoulder width apart, slightly down the grip here. I want you guys to try to, at takeaway, keep the loft off of the golf club. So this might be my traditional backswing. I'm going to try to, where I can, feel like the badge of my glove here is going to be pointing downwards more towards the golf ball in the takeaway. By the time I get my hands to hip high here, I'm going to add a little bit of wrist break, a little bit of wrist hinge here. I'm going to then hold that angle down and through the shot and ensure that my club face feels like it's pointing straighter down the target line as I'm coming into impact and just post impact. Now, with all those things in mind, the final thing and the only thing I'm going to think about when I get over the golf ball is to keep my tempo. Nice, smooth rhythm. So we get ourselves set, slightly down the grip, pressure goes forward. Going to feel like I'm going to keep that loft off the club. And then once I've had all those thoughts in my practice swing, stand over the golf ball here, smooth tempo. You'll notice the follow through is slightly sawn off. You'll also notice that the launch angle came out nice and low. It's a low flighted shot and I didn't have any additional power. There's no full speed, just a good smooth tempo. Guys, if you're looking to improve your scoring, if you're looking to see your handicap lower, that low flighted wedge shot is something you must have in your arsenal. Keep it in the toolkit, practice it and use it often. Guys, if you know someone that needs help with this part of the game, please share this video with them. Be sure to like the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the videos as and when they drop. And above all else, guys, please feel free to drop a comment. I'd love to know, is this stuff helping your game? And what sort of content would you like to see that could help your game? Beyond that, happy golfing. I'll see you guys next time.